Can you do like that? Just in case. So
No
now
bad.
we're starting right? We're starting. Oh, okay. So just now we have watched the documentary but not to that's it. We will not discuss too much on that. But basically that documentary has give us an overview of the past present of the. So we have like around 1 hour 15 minutes left before five because Fatin didn't have to go back at 5 o'clock. Separated past a little bit. We discuss about the history of the conflict in Palestine, what occurs, how it occurs, present time, what is happening right now, and then we go into the future, and then we have like a formal questions and answers. But in between or during the giving talk, you can just ask. This is very informal forum. Yeah, feel free to ask. So we'll go to the password, maybe around 15 minutes. So there is this book actually on Palestine. So Ilan Pape, he wrote in this book, he said that regarding the conflict in Palestine, there are like three paradoxes that occur. Also, you know the situation in Palestine, and they are very ambiguous situations. Is the Jew who lives in Israel or in Palestine?
than Jewish, but it is actually anti-Semitic. That's why it won. So, 1917, when Britain he granted Balfour, who was the prime minister at that time, he granted the Jewish Palestine as a land to go and start their country, Israeli state. Of course, after World War I, all the Jewish around the world in Europe, they were Europe didn't want it. You know, the Nazis were get rid of Jews, and so the Jews were unwanted people in Europe. So they wanted to get rid of them, and where to put them? They thought it's South America or somewhere in Africa, but then they decided something and give them land. He gave them that beautiful is that number. Uh, 1946, around that time when they started, ethnically cleansed the Palestinians from their homeland, and they erased so many villages, Palestinian villages from that area. So then the British gave the power, it was the Ottomans, and then the British, and then the British gave it to the Israelis, and then they declared the state of Israel. that time when it was 750,000 Palestinians were forcibly cleansed and asked to leave, left their homes, and they went to other refugees, of course, and they became the largest refugees in the world. We took they established refugee camps in the West Bank, in Gaza, and in the neighboring countries, Syria, Lebanon, and Jordan.
So, as we know, in 1948, the state of Israel is officially declared.
Mhm.
But during that time, I think the situation is not as worse as it is right now. During that time, I think the state of Palestine is given 45% to them, to the people of Palestine, and 55% is given to the Jews. But then what happened after that in 1967? If you can give like some brief
See
history.
the maps here, the four maps, the very famous four maps. The first one is the whole Palestine, the historic Palestine, we call it. And with the all areas, the white small areas, that's where the British mandate, that when they gave them that, there was 6% of the Jewish population there. And in 1947, plan where the Israel was declared in 1948, they gave Israel this area here. The white areas are the Israel, and the green areas supposed to be for the Palestinians, Palestine. But unfortunately, the ethnic cleansing continued and the colonialism of the country. So the Israelis started. They kept occupying the land. In 1967, there was the war, the 6-day war, where they took the whole land. They occupied the West Bank and Gaza and East Jerusalem, and then they still, of course, occupied. They started then building for the colonialism ideology or whatever they think about. If they want to colonize the whole land, so they started building the illegal settlements in the West Bank, which is the green area here, which should be for the Palestinians. But with the occupation, of course, they built so many illegal settlements, as you saw in the film, the illegal settlements, and of course, all these connected with the segregation roads, which made impossible to become. Okay, so that's how it's ended now, and even worse than this, because it's 2012, even worse than this month. So just little small pieces for the Palestinians.
So Nakba is a situation which occurs in 1967, right?
No, the Nakba is 1948. Is the catastrophe, which was the largest group of people ethnically cleansed, forced to leave their homes. 500 villages were destroyed and gone. And these people had to move and became the largest refugees in the world.
And that's why it's called Nakba.
Nakba, catastrophe, yeah. There's another one in 1967, which is called Naksa.
Naksa, yeah,
Naksa is for the occupation, which is this year. We're commemorating the 50th year this year.
Can you tell a bit about the Naksa? How did it occur? What, like, it's a war between which countries against Israel?
The Naksa, it was the Arab wanted to help. The Palestinians. So that was a war, but it wasn't really. I can't say much about it.
Was it 3-day war? Was it
6-day war? Yeah. Which Israel, of course,
But it's basically the Arab countries trying to free Palestine and try to fight Israel, but they were defeated as well.
Yes.
Basically, it's like that. Can you tell us any other significant event that occurs between after Naksa until now? Maybe the Intifada events. Can you explain a little bit?
Of course, this year is 50 years of 30 years of Intifada from 1987.
That's the first Intifada.
The first Intifada. Then, of course, the 2008, 2009 was the Gaza attack, the first one, which is Cast-led. And then 2000, I have statistics there. In 2008, Operation Cast Lead, there were 1,400, more than 1,400 Palestinians were killed, 5,300 wounded, and demolishing 11,000 and 514 homes were demolished in that attack on Gaza, which is lasted, sorry, 20 days, 21 days. The other one lasted 50 days. After that, there was in November 2012 Operation Pillar of Defense, they call it, because they have this called their operations names. So they said Operation Pillar of Defense, where Israel attacked Gaza again. Of course, Gaza was under siege, I should mention. I'm sure you saw that in the film. Gaza is under siege since 2006, since Hamas took over, or it was elected, but they don't.
But recognized.
Yeah, they didn't recognize that, and Gaza was under siege since 2006, which is I haven't seen my sister for so many years at that when that attack happened in Gaza. She could manage and come from Egypt if the borders open, but if the borders, unfortunately, Egypt is they're having as well they're playing their part in that thing by having the siege of Gaza because they're not allowing that border to they don't open it frequently. So the siege of Gaza. Gaza is already under siege since 2006, suffering, suffocating, and these wars were to add to their misery. The 2008, as I said, and then in November 2012, which they called Operation Pillar of Defense. It lasted only a few days, but it killed 105 Palestinians and 971 wounded. And after that, in 2014, which was really one of the worst attacks, which is Operation Protective Edge, they call it this time, attacking Gaza again, which it hasn't recovered fully from the 2008. There were still people homeless from that attack, but still they and with the siege, they still had to attack Gaza again, killing more than 2,200 innocent Palestinians. Of these 2,200, 530 something children, unfortunately. Wounded more than 10,000 Palestinians. Of course, these 10,000, some of them will never cure. They're maybe injured by, they lost their legs, they lost their arms, they're blinded, or all these, like as that guy said, we're neither dead or alive, you know. The attack on Gaza, the 2014 attack on Gaza, there were 220 schools destroyed, and 118 schools were damaged. So of course they had to delay it. They couldn't start in September because of most of the schools were destroyed, and whatever left of the schools, they were used as shelters for people to live in using the shelters. So couldn't start their schools in September as usual. They delayed it for a few months until they sorted the homeless people where to go and how to live. They targeted 17 hospitals. They destroyed them. 56 primary healthcare facilities. The 45 ambulances were damaged. 16 healthcare workers were killed. At least 142 kids lost 3 or more members of the same family. Up to 1,500 children were orphaned. 18,000 housing units were totally destroyed, leaving 108,000 of Gaza's 1.8 million people homeless, and 28% of Gaza's population displaced again. Most of these people were targeted are actually Gaza. Had to leave in 1948 and settled in Gaza, hoping they'll go back, but till now they haven't. And they were homeless again in their homes, unfortunately, again and again. So like what happened in Syria as well. Lots of war happened in Syria. Palestinians were affected because there were so many Palestinian refugees there in the Yarmouk camp, if you heard about it. Refugees, they were targeted again for this is the third maybe time in their life and be homeless again.
It's like to keep moving their place, their home.
Unfortunately, yes. Of course, this is only Gaza. The West Bank, the West Bank is daily segregations, ethnic cleansing. They were targeted. They see that the Israelis face to face, like in Gaza. At least we don't see the Israelis. Okay, they're trying to comfort themselves. At least we can't see them because. But in the West Bank, unfortunately, they're in your face on a daily basis. Just living together. No, they are targeting you. The as you saw the settlers. I told you Hebron. I'm from Hebron. Hebron was 100 settlers in Hebron settling in that area. What they were backed by the Israeli soldiers. Whatever villages in Palestine, they were like these settlers. You saw the illegal settlements. They are surrounded the villages in Palestine. Okay, so these settlers will come and attack the Palestinians, verbally abuse them, or just throw stones at them, and they will be Israeli soldiers. And they all have weapons. All these settlers have their weapons with them. The Palestinians have nothing but the stones. So the wall in Hebron, there's a street called Shuhada Street, where it's the main street in Hebron. Palestinians are not allowed to go into it. They're not allowed to pass by this street. Only Israelis, only Jews are allowed to go and use that street. So that suffocates the Palestinians. They can't work, they can't go to their shops, they can't do daily life, like, going to school. Lots of children will have to take detour and be really late for school or take alternative routes. It's taken all the day to go to school and come back from school, which is, it shouldn't. Like, this is freedom of movement we don't have, unfortunately, at all. Even between that, with this wall being there, it's people can't get into their lands to farm or to harvest. Don't mention the settlers uprooting the olive trees and burning trees. And so this is a daily life for the Palestinians in the West Bank as well, in Jerusalem, which is, you saw the house demolition. They make the Palestinians demolish their own homes. Imagine you demolishing your own home because you can't afford to pay. Why you demolish it? Because they give you a form, you have to demolish the house by this date. And if you don't demolish it yourself, we will demolish it for you. But then you have to pay a fee, which they can't. They can't pay. They don't have the money to pay for that fee.
Demolish their own house?
Because they can't pay. They'll say, look, I'm going to demolish your house today, and you have to pay €1,000 for demolishing. So they can't have. They have to pay this, or they'll go to jail again. So instead of paying the Israelis to demolish their house, they'll demolish it themselves to save this €1,000. To save. You can see how inhumane it is. How, I don't know how to describe it. It's beyond words. That's in Jerusalem. That's why, and they, of course, they push the Palestinians so much so lots of them will leave. If you can't, between Jerusalem and Bethlehem, for example, it's only a few kilometers, few meters. You can just go, but with this wall, you can't. They make it impossible for the people to go. And if you're allowed, for example, you pass the checkpoint and you went to Bethlehem, you can't sleep over if you're from Jerusalem, because they gave colors for colored IDs. And they'll know from your color where are you from, and you're not where to stay. So if you're from Bethlehem, your ID is in Bethlehem, you can't go to Jordan. They don't allow you.
Bethlehem is in
Bethlehem, it's in the West Bank,
It's in the
beside
West Bank.
beside Church of Nativity is. And I have friends in Aida camp, which they came here 2014. It was the International Solidarity Day with International Solidarity Year with Palestinian people, and UN claimed it. So I to make that an event here, we brought people from Aida camp to the Dabka dances. I don't know if any of you were here, but
2014.
2014. So they came and they performed. We had two concerts here, one in Dublin, Liberty Hall, and I took them to Galway as well, which was fantastic. So these people, I'm very close to them now, and they on a daily basis they tell me stories and stuff. It's the way they live in Aida camp. It's again, Aida camp is one of these camps which people immigrated from, had to come from 1948. So these they
Where is it
formed
located? Aida camp?
Aida camp. It's in the West Bank.
It's in West Bank as well.
It's in the West Bank beside Jerusalem, like it's in Bethlehem. Yeah, in Bethlehem. This Aida camp, it's established from maybe 20 villages.
Okay.
People came from 20 different villages from the north of Palestine because of the Nakba, and they came established there. So it became the Aida camp. It's one of the largest camps in there, and it's surrounded by two sides with the wall, and the third side is another illegal settlement. So in this Aida camp, they have a Laji center, which the people I brought here years ago. They have a cultural center they made a playground, and they opened school classes, music classes, dance classes, anything just to make people, the young people, happy and kind of self-determination thing, right? Just to help them
Motivate themselves.
Yeah. But with this, like, they made playground. They had to put make like a ceiling. It's an open air playground, of course, but they had to put that net, okay, to protect the children who were playing from the gas mask, the tear gas, right? Because they always they just throw tear gases on the camp all the time. So people would go, European people would, yourself, you can go as well to the Aida camp, and in summertime, Laji, they do summer camps courses. So people would volunteer and go to help out and see the situation themselves. So I mean, a few of my friends went and witnessed all this, the tear gas, live bullets, and all this thrown at children during any time they watch. They just opened the doors and decided to go to the camp. They want to arrest the children's arrest. I was talking to one girl here. The children's arrest is one of the daily routines as well in the West Bank. Unfortunately, they have a technique. They have to go at night. The Israeli soldiers, they just decide after 12, maybe they go and raid the town, okay, wherever they want to decide to raid, and they will bang on your doors and ask them to get in. They'll get in themselves and then arrest the children. All the time, it's during the night, because they scare the children. They harass their parents in front of them and humiliate their father in front of them, because when they come and hit your father in front of you and arrest you, it's all so the whole family will be absolutely. So they do all the time, take the children during the night and arrest them, and they might let them out the following day, or they might be under administrative detention for nobody knows how long.
Talking about the soldiers, how they like you say the child arrest happens every day.
Yeah.
How they shoot people like randomly. The operation that occurs in Gaza, they attack Gaza consistently. why do you think they have like? Do you think they have? Do you think like they are the soldiers are like a puppet controlled by the Zionists, or they are willing to kill people? They don't feel sad at all to kill people. Because
It's the system. It's the system, like the Israeli system. They just want to frighten the people, get rid of them, kill them. They target killing. They do target killing. They in Gaza. They what do you call them when they do this whatever defense thing they do in a very small area, heavily populated. They target innocent people. They are killing people. They're systematically killing people. Even in the West Bank, when last year the Intifada started, the Quds Intifada, where it started young people uprising. They just fed up with this life. So they have the stones to fight. And you see how many soldiers they call it the knife. They started the knife attack, and so many of them they were arrested and claimed that they were trying to stab Israeli soldiers, but most of them they were fake. But some of them were. But that's them. These people want to defend themselves. But the soldiers were ordered to just kill, just shoot wherever child you see, a child, a grown up, wherever. They didn't care, a man, a woman, and all them small. Just shoot.
do you think what motivates the soldiers to just shoot and kill is the
Orders.
Zionist
Orders,
idealism?
of course,
The
of
Zionist,
course, orders. Israeli governments. That's their leaders. What they want, of course.
But it's weird, like uh, another paradox that Ilan Pape have said is like the actions of the Israel, the Jews towards the Palestinian is recognized as an evil actions by the world itself. Many people against that, but ironically, uh, Israel still gets support from many strong countries, politically and economically. This is such like a paradox, you know. They are getting condemned, but at the same time they're still getting support. Right?
Unfortunately, that's what I said.
That's
Like
weird.
the European Union, they killed Israel as one of the European Union, and they gave Israel so much privilege things to do and to gain economically. Okay, which is this is hypocrite because they they do they all what Israel does is against international law. So they are crime against humanity. They are war crimes, and they still give them,
Yeah.
which is the world hypocrite. It's Israel, America. Look how much they support and back
That's
Israel.
true. That's true. That's true. So we've gone through the history, the brief history. We know how the Palestinian peoples being kicked out from their own land. Slowly, they have a large land and then slowly decrease. And until now, the war still happen. They're still being killed. The Israel keeps on attacking Gaza. Why don't they? It's like they. I think I thought have this thought like they have the power to just completely destroy Gaza. But why do they like just attack some of the parts and then stop and then attack again and stop? Why don't they just completely destroy? What's their motive? What's their motive of doing this?
Politics.
Absolutely, like they can't wipe it off completely
So
because
we-
that will be
Would it be safe to say like it's due to politics, and if they do it just like that, then it will be very obvious. Then the entire international community will be on them. But if they do it subtly,
yeah, and
Like
they'll
slowly,
blame Hamas
blaming
for,
Hamas for all the
throwing
terrorism
rockets.
crimes, and also slowly, like based on the video, slowly, forcibly from their lands. So I guess it's one of the strategy of politics to save themselves as well.
Probably cover them.
It's quite true that way, you know. They like playing around, you know, playing with killing. Stop.
Unfortunately,
Giving some hopes to the people and then kill again and then give some hopes again.
they don't give us.
Then we give hopes.
Oh my God! But we Palestinians have hope. And we
Okay.
keep it, of course.
Sure, sure.
Hope is awesome.
I've heard this. There's this one Sheikh say that what keeps the Palestinian on keep going, attacking the Jews, fighting, although they only have stones as their weapon, is because they believe in this one hadith that say one day Palestine will be free.
Yeah.
and they believe that they could do that.
Of course.
They don't know when, but they know the
Can
time will
happen,
come,
yeah.
right? So they just
That's
keep
in
doing
our
what they
faith and our
Yes.
religion. We have it, yeah, of course.
That's true, that's true. Okay, so we know the current situations, what occurs over there. So let's look into the future. What could we actually do to help the Palestinians, specifically the BDS movement? If you could explain what BDS movement is about, the BDNS.
Sure.
Yeah.
The BNC, you mean the Boycott National Committee?
I mean,
BDS.
BDS,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. Of course, as you saw, the parliament we've been talking about what's happening, and so you saw when the wall was condemned in 2004. Okay, was claimed illegal. It's illegal under international law, and whatever war crime laws is illegal. Unfortunately, as the word is silent. So the world is not doing anything. The international committees, they're not doing anything. They're just watching. And so the Palestinians, civil society, yeah, which is from trade unions, women unions, all the civil society in Palestine decided to take on board a new, inspired from South Africa, to use this assessment and sanction, which is boycott Israel, all boycotted academically, culturally, sports, education, which is academic, I have a leaflet here with all the products, yes, commercially, okay. So this is boycott. Divestment, ask all companies who are doing things in Israel to divest from whatever they're doing for the sake of humanity. And it's very successful, I'll tell you later. And then boycott, divestment, and sanction Israel for committing these crimes until and take it to court, to international court, until it applies with the human rights.
What a sanction means?
Sanction it, like don't deal with Israel, or don't talk to her, or just put her in the corner there.
It's not a sanction, it's more like a country's decision. Like divestment is more to a company, and boycott is more to individual.
Yes, but boycott, no, we don't boycott individuals. Yeah, this is very important. When we ask people to boycott, we boycott like for the products, academically, for example, or culturally. We don't target individuals, okay? Because that's
in the individual level that you can.
Us, you mean individually? Yeah, that's right. Yeah, sorry, I misunderstood you, but it's good to point out to you that we don't target individuals when we boycott. We target institutions. Like if there is a speaker from Israel coming to Ireland, if he's just coming from, we don't know, somebody just he wanted to come and they invite him to speak. We have nothing to do with him if he wasn't supported by the Israeli embassy, for example. But so if this person or group, like we did in a few months ago, there were an Israeli football team coming to play with Ireland. We organized a huge demo, and hundreds of people showed up at that time, showing Israel the red card, because we don't want them to come to Ireland and play. Ireland has to stand with the Palestinians, and the Irish are very supportive to the Palestinian cause. So show the red card to Israel and don't let them play in Ireland. They played, of course, but we demonstrated at that, and we had hundreds of people showing to show them that they're not welcome. This football match, this team represent Israel, represent apartheid Israel. So we have to do something about it. An individual came. We don't go, yeah, but we don't target them we don't ask people to go and protest. But if there is a singer coming from Israel and supported by the Israeli embassy, definitely we'll stand there and we'll leaflet and we'll ask people to divest. And which happened. There was bands coming. We stood at the National Concert Hall and we asked people. We told people, because not everybody knows. So when people came, and some of them, they just refused to go, although they had tickets and all, but they refused to go in, and they just went to the desk and said, "How dare you bring that person?" And they did that such and such for the Palestinians. So boycott, divestment, and sanction is very basic and very strong tool. Absolutely the strongest, I think. That's why the Palestinian civil society asked for it, because they see the light of what happened in South Africa to end that apartheid regime. It is going to happen in Palestine and end that apartheid regime by following this boycott, divestment, and sanction. So that's, and the boycott, divestment, and sanction, basically it's granted three things for the Palestinians, which is the end the occupation, of course.
This is like the purpose.
Yeah, three aims
Three
for
aims.
it to achieve: end the occupation, equality for all Palestinians within Israel. These you've seen in the film, the Palestinians who live in the 48, we call what they have Israeli citizens.
Mhm.
They are treated as second-class citizens under apartheid regime. So we need the equality for Palestinians under in the 48, and guaranteed the right of return for all Palestinians. We want them, the boycott, divestment, and sanction guarantees. We're asking for them to guarantee them freedom of coming back to their homes and to their villages and to their homes.
Can you give examples of divestment and sanctions that has been done?
Of course, yes, yes. In Ireland Responsibility campaign, we solely work for one of our biggest target is BDS. We work hugely BDS. There are different NGOs in the country which they do support Palestine, but they don't carry the BDS fully. We do carry the BDS and work for it. And one of the biggest success divestments happened last year, last which is CRH. CRH is a cement multinational cement company. It had 25% investment in Nasher company in Israel. So we've been targeting this CRH company nearly 8 years. Every AGM they do, we go and protest at the AGM. Some of us will go in. I went myself 3 times. One of the times I handed out the petition. We collected petitions from, we do stalls in the streets every Saturday, either in Grafton Street or in Henry Street. You'll see us there with the Palestinian flag, raising awareness, talking to people, and collecting petitions. At that time, for CRH, we collected 10,000 signatures. We went around the country as well to collect this petition, and we had a symbol of the wall. You've seen the wall. We had a symbol of the wall. One artist made it. So we have the wall with us. We went and we had a theater, kind of street theater thing, to show the people how the Palestinians suffer with this checkpoint and going through the wall. And we collected the 10,000 signatures. So I went, and there was another solicitor at that time, coincidentally visiting Ireland, Palestinian woman, and I went with her to that AGM, and I stood up, said a few words about Hebron, and then I handed out the 10,000 signatures asking CRH to play this.
During the AGM, is it?
During the AGM, every year, we usually, to raise awareness, to collect the petition, we do it every Saturday to collect the petition, and every few months we do the street theater thing to show people what's the reality. Protested at the AGM every year in May in front of the hotel, the AGM, showing, representing the wall, or doing any very creative ideas we do outside the AGM, and few of us will go inside the AGM. We get shareholders to let us in, proxy. We go to say a few words and raise the issue to the divest. So finally, thank God, they won divest. So it's a huge success, and it's one of the top 10 happened during during last year in the world, internationally for BDS. Yeah, which was great success to us at the IPSC. Alhamdulillah. Other divestments, Veolia, Veolia, they work in the tram, light tram, the Lewis. They international company, but they worked here in the Lewis. So we asked it because they have a branch, of course, at that time in Ireland. So we asked them to, and we did few protests, and we went into the Lewis and handed leaflets and asking people to push the Veolia group to divest from Israel because they're building the Veolia is doing in Israel, in Jerusalem, between East and West Jerusalem, the link with that light tram, they call it. So, and they listened and they divested, which is great, again, great success. G4S, G4S is a company, international security company, again, but they have, they have to work in Israel. They do prisons, fortunately, the checkpoints, they have big time to do in Israel. So we asked an international campaign again, asking G4S to divest for that's happening for the past few years, and it's working. It's working because they are selling, and they are they promised by next year to be out of Israel, which is again great success. And all these divestments, it's allowed to people. People are the power of the people. They are asking. This is boycott, divestment, and sanction. They push them to divest, and they had to do it because it's not going anywhere. Again, HP. HP. No. I have a leaflet here to tell you about HP and their involvement in Israel. Again. Against the Palestinians, unfortunately, which is a lot. We're having it's international again, big campaign. We are promoting it since December. I think we started this campaign with them. We carried it on in IPSC, and on the Apartheid Week, which is between the 4th and the 11th of March, I'm inviting you all to come and please join us and help. There's going to be an Israeli Apartheid Week, which happens every year, nationally again. Each city and town, campuses and schools and colleges around the world, they do have that week to raise awareness about the Palestinian plight, wherever they want to raise. And we've taken HP this time. The aim of it is, of course, to show people apartheid Israel. And to highlight the issue of HP this year. So we're gonna use that same wall. We have a tall wall with a tower. So in the film, we're gonna have it in the city center on Saturday the 4th. Or we're gonna have we had CRH on it, so we're gonna we moved actually CRH and we put HP on it. And we're gonna do a street theater, where the way you saw the soldiers asking, going through the checkpoints and these checkpoints. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna have soldiers, dress up soldiers and dress up Palestinians, and we're gonna do that act. We did it a few times before, and it was really strong, powerful message. One of the times in 2010, I think, it was everywhere in media. They pick it up. Usually the media is really bad.
That sounds good.
But they pick it up because Israel was, the second day we did that stall on Saturday on Grafton Street, it was on the Israeli media. That Ireland is the most city that hates Israel or something like that. The more hostile, because of IPSC stall and the acting of the soldiers and the guns and all that. So they thought we are doing wrong.
Let's ask the question. Like in the movie, it says that the BDS movement in Africa, South Africa, and also in Israel, there's like it's sort of um, forward, let's say like faster compared to the BDS that happened in Africa.
Oh no, he said the time,
Yeah.
the timeline, yeah,
Yeah, the
because
timeline is faster.
yeah, because people are more aware that the social media is great nowadays. You know,
Yeah.
so people are more aware, and because it happened in South Africa, I think people are it's different era, I think.
So what do you like in comparison of to the Africa apartheid and the Israel apartheid? Like how do you see this going? Like we feel that, and not we feel like, you know, certain people feel that okay, they boycott McDonald's for a month, and they feel like, oh, why is it not happening? You know,
I
like
know,
those are the
yes.
things like
McDonald's, by the way, we don't target McDonald's. We don't boycott McDonald's. McDonald's is American. I have to tell you about this. Because lots of all those McDonald's now. No, I'll tell you what. There is confusion. There are lots of I've seen lots of video clips and stuff asking people to boycott Kit Kat and Starbucks and these Nestle. Okay, Starbucks and Nestle are bad anyway. Okay, no, they are bad anyway. Nestle they mistreat their workers anyway. So it's fair enough. Boycott them, but it's not for the BDS boycott, divestment, sanction. We don't target the American entities like that.
or is it because like people say that it'll make they give like a certain amount of profit to Israel, that's why we have to boycott?
I don't know about that. We're not sure about that. They don't have proof.
I messaged with one of because in Malaysia there's the organizer of the BDS movement as well, and from what they said, they said that like different countries have different targets for the BDS movement, and from the McDonald's they have like a researcher, they call it Palestinian Center of Excellence, where they research of the things that they should boycott, which can give impact to Israel. So McDonald's is one of the listed down, which they know they could.
I'm not sure, but we don't. We of IPSC we work in BDS, and I am a member of course the BDS group. We take our orders from the BNC, which is the Boycott National Committee in Palestine. They know we do because the main target is to hurt Israel. It's not to hurt America. It's hurt Israel and ask them to obey and go under international law. For these products, for example, here in the theater and SodaStream, of course, that's one of the success campaigns. We target SodaStreams. They closed their factories, but unfortunately, they closed them from the illegal settlements on its Israel, which then we can't target. But these companies, they have factories inside the illegal settlements, which is illegal under international law.
Wait, is that Tesco and Aldi inside one of the lists as well?
Yes, Tesco and Aldi. We're not targeting Tesco. No, we're targeting products
within
in
its-
Tesco. Products in Super Value. Because all supermarkets, you go to supermarkets, go to the supermarket, and whatever products you have, you see with Israel, it's of course you boycott it, don't buy it, but it's not only that. What we want you to do your part is you take it and go to the customer service, or you go to the manager, you call somebody and say, listen, this is Israeli, you shouldn't do it. This is illegal, this is Palestinian blood, and you give them a message. Give them a strong message. If you leave it there, of course, yeah, nobody will buy it, but other people will buy it. But if you tell them, they'll put it in notes. But people are coming and complaining, so
Tell the manager,
let's
you mean?
consider. Yeah,
Tell the manager. Yeah.
tell the manager, tell the what did I say? Sorry.
I thought you just told the staff,
Tell the staff, tell the manager, tell wherever you like. If the manager is not there, tell the staff, no problem. Well, why not? But I mean, to give your message, you have to say it. So we have the list of the products to boycott.
Like say talking about the timeline, like in terms of BDS for the Israel apartheid, it is faster compared to the African. But like, what is the factor that is slowing it down? Like making Israel
Because Israel are fighting us.
Oh.
You see? The reason we know it's succeeding and it's working, it hurts them because these divestment, it hurts them, you know.
Economically.
Economically, of course.
Because they, I think last year Israel newspaper they published they lost 250,000 million or thousand. They lose money from all this boycott.
See?
So it does work.
It does.
But then
And
it's
the
not
ministers, Israel, they're having now a special one for just how to fight BDS people. Okay, so they are fighting anybody who works for BDS. Omar Barghouti, you saw him there. He is one of the leaders for leading the BDS campaign. They criminalized him, and they didn't allow him to leave Palestine. So there was a huge campaign after that when, of course, he went viral. And we told him, how can you do this to Omar Barghouti? So that BDS went even more. People knows about it. More people are supportive of it. So that means that it's hurting them. IPSC, I'll give you an example. IPSC, we've been banking with Bank of Ireland for the past 15 years since we established. This year they closed our bank account. Yes, they closed our bank account. And we, of course, raised the issue among our members, among the people, and we raised it in the Dáil, in the parliament in Ireland, and they refused to talk to us. They refused to give us any reason. They said, you don't suit our risk appetite. That's the only reason.
You know what?
We don't suit their risk appetite.
Oh.
Yeah, and they don't want to. So we asked them to reverse their decision, but no. And then we raised it in the Dáil, and then the Senate, and the Senate asked Bank of Ireland refused to meet us, refused to meet me as a chair and talk to me why they did this. But we asked the Senate we raised it in the Senate, and the Senate.
What's Senate?
The Senate is the upper house of
Senate. All right.
Senate.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, sorry, Senate. Yeah, okay. The upper house of Parliament. Yeah. So they asked Bank of Ireland to sit with us and meet us, and we did. I did 3 weeks ago. I did with the 3 other members of IPSC, and we asked him why you closed our bank account, and he kept reading the same thing again and again. Okay, why did you do this? He kept reading like a broken record. Was that we don't suit the risk appetite, and then nothing till now. We have to report it. We haven't yet to report back to the Senate and see what's gonna happen. But
So like in terms of the money and everything.
no, we took our money, we put them in AIB now. So we have an account in AIB, but we're not sure again if they're gonna close it because
Because it happened
in and they're targeting people who work with the DS. So they closed our account, not only us in Ireland. They closed it in England, they closed it in France.
Bank of Ireland.
Hmm?
What bank?
Other bank.
Other banks. It's it's international campaign against BDS.
Oh, okay.
So that means the Israeli lobby, the Zionist lobby, is very strong in the world. Fortunately, they have their hands everywhere. Power of the states and American money. Palestinians don't have any of these things, unfortunately.
But the fact that they are trying to close their accounts means that it gives some impact, right?
Yeah, BDS is hurting them. That means it's working, and that's why they're fighting it. If it doesn't bother them, why should they bother about it? Because they're fighting us back, that means it's hurting them, and it's working.
Just double checking the McDonald's all of this. Anyway, just kidding. I have a question actually.
We're all going to McDonald's now, yeah?
Just kidding. I have a question since we're in the session of talking about the future of Palestine, and nowadays the likes of Donald Trump being president of the United States, and his plan of, moving to the U.S. embassy towards Jerusalem, in which 4 other presidents before it denied. What will be the future prospect of Palestine if that's the case?
Black.
In the sense of, sorry, in the point of view of IPSC and also BDS, will you do like more aggressive things to boycott American products because of the thing that Donald Trump's trying to do.
If
which is-
we go boycott America, then we're out of track for Palestine.
yeah.
Only purely Palestine, and we're boycotting Israel. We want to hurt Israel. We want to get Israel to admit their war crimes and respect the human rights. That's our aim. We can't like even the bank. Look what the bank of Ireland did to us. But we as an organization, we refuse to talk. We can't just go and protest, boycott. Lots of people actually. We ask our members and supporters, and you guys, if you can do that as well, write to Bank of Ireland. Lots of people, hundreds of people wrote to Bank of Ireland to complain, and hundreds of people were they closed their bank accounts from Bank of Ireland in demonstration like you closed the IPSC bank. This is against humanity, against rules, against everything, and they closed their bank account. So if any of you have a bank account in Bank of Ireland and you want to do something, you can just go and say, Bank of Ireland, I'm closing my accounts because of this and this. Of course, the bank doesn't care at the moment, but I'm positive, and you'll remember this. They're gonna get the bite back later. They were gonna feel it. They were gonna feel the bite later. Maybe not this year, but they will see it later.
Slowly.
We can't as I said, we can't target the bank and just go every day and hassle the bank and do
Right.
this. But then where's Palestine? We left Palestine.
So we lose focus, right?
Just focus, just here, because lots of our members were really angry about what happened and said, "You losers, us," because we don't want to fight the bank. Okay, we can't. It's a waste of money, a waste of energy. We don't have the money to go legal, unfortunately, and it's a waste of money and power. We need our power to work focus Palestine. We tried, we didn't keep silent. As we said, we raised it in the Dáil, we raised it in the Senate, but we're trying. But we can't just do something and leave the main thing. Again, if we're gonna go focus on the states as well, or
So,
focus on,
we'll focus on the thing.
Yeah. Yeah. And did you ask me anything?
In the prospect of how SMC moved into Jerusalem.
They're not gonna do it. No. I think he
Knowing Donald Trump, I mean, he's a very
No, he's not, because I think he took his word back. He's not gonna, because
No,
Israel doesn't want to. He can't. It's not easy. I think if this is my opinion now, okay? If they moved the embassy, there will be uprising. There will be
chaos.
lots of they're
World
not
War
gonna handle
III,
it in Palestine. And should be the Arab and Muslims. Should be. So I don't think he can. I think he's not gonna do it. But he's supporting the illegal settlements, and they're still building them and giving green lights to go ahead with more settlements. They met about 10 days ago. Netanyahu went to the state. I don't know if you saw the fun part of the meeting. Well, they want one state, 2 states, up to you, 3 states, whatever, whatever Israel. He doesn't know whatever Israel wants, but so it is black. The future of Palestine under Trump is black, unfortunately. But hopefully he's not gonna last.
We are the one who should do something to lighten up the future, to give some sign.
Yes.
Some future.
Yes. Your support, it's this year, as I said, it's 100 years since the Balfour Declaration. It's 70 years since the Nakba, and it's 50 years since the occupation. And we Palestinians still live. We still there. We
Still fighting.
still strong, and we teach people life. As Rafik Ziad, Palestinian poet, that we teach life, sir. We do. You can see the Palestinians all over the world. Palestine didn't. We carry it. Like, I never lived in Palestine. My children never lived in Palestine. They never visited Palestine. I visited, but my children never visited Palestine. But they do carry it, and they do fight for it. I don't believe only Palestinians, like my Irish friends here, and I have friends. So you've seen Kevin. I don't know if you met Martin.
Kevin, I met Kevin.
Yeah. My God, these people, they're fighting for Palestinians more than Palestinians. They put me to shame, actually, when so much things they do for Palestine. They're not Palestinians. They have nothing to do with it. But it's a human right thing. It's a human issue. Everybody has to work on, and to you guys, Muslim as well, as human, as Muslim as well. It's our duty, we Muslims, to stand by our brothers and sisters and fight for them. It's for the just cause. It's not like a war, and it's just cause. We have the right. We have rights in Palestine, and we're fighting for it.
So in the individual level, what we could do is the boycott.
Boycott, divestment, and sanction is one of the strongest, actually, the easiest tools and strongest to do. Boycott, in your case, is boycott and support. And raise awareness, of course, raise awareness. Still, people about Palestine, not everybody knows about it. The more awareness you raise, the more boycott you do. It's all these steps into a better future, inshallah.
And last part maybe about the future, but one state or two state solution. Can you like explain what is one state solution? What is two state solution? Maybe there are some of us that didn't know about that. And what is your
like
opinion?
Trump, I don't know about but
Generally.
as IPSC chair, I can't speak on any one state to state. We don't take a position on one state or two state. This is the Palestinians' decision. The Palestinians themselves. What's good for them and what they want. We can't come here, live here, and do. Listen, I think two-state solution is the best way. It's not us. It's the Palestinians. That's why we don't have a stand on this.
In your
But
personal
me
opinion?
personally, I think two-state solution is dead. Actually, as Netanyahu and Trump the other day, they said that. Trump said two-state solution is dead, but then he said, "Oh, one state, two states." He doesn't know what he. But two-state solution is it's dead. You can't see it. Where? And that's Palestine. It's the West Bank. They want the state of Palestine, which is Gaza and the West Bank. You can't see the West Bank. It's not there anymore. So what state you're talking about? What Palestinians thought you're talking about? Except a state with no land. Where's the land? You know, the West Bank. It's you saw the cities, the Palestinian cities, all divided with the segregation roads and the illegal settlements, which is growing, and with Trump giving 5,000 green light for 5,000 more illegal settlements to go, which is, how can you see it? So whereas one state has to be one state, not, of course, it can't be Jewish state, not definitely state. One vote, one life. I don't know how that is going to happen, to be honest with you.
So it's still like a long road towards the one state solution. Yeah. Fighting for it, but it's still long, and it's still like a dim future. You can really see it occurs with the current situation.
But inshallah, as a believers, you know, we have faith, and we know that our Prophet Muhammad that's what we're waiting for. That's going to happen. But we just can't sit and watch. We have to do as well. We have to start with ourselves, fix ourselves, make our faith stronger, and believe and help others. And then from us, and then we'll start with the community and then the country.
Slowly.
Inshallah.
Sorry, can I ask you one question? Just a piece from history. Around in 90s, if I'm not mistaken, there is one fact saying that some of the Palestinians they sold their land to the Jews.
Some Palestinians sold
Their
own land.
Yeah.
Did you see that's true? And why is that happening?
In the 90s, you mean?
Yeah, in 90s when Yasser Arafat was the Palestinian leader.
Oh, I'm not sure about that, but there are some individual Palestinians with still the land. Sometimes it will be not knowing the fact that an Israeli is dying, or because they go send somebody. This somebody is a treasure.
There's a middleman.
Yeah, and they could have sold the land and he did not knowing that, which has happened a few times, and the Israeli just confiscate the land. They don't care about it or not, but I'm not sure about that. So it could. I'm sure there are traitors. I'm sure there are, and it's human nature. But the Israelis, they still stay in the land. Did you see that clip with the film when they took the family out of the house and they took the house? That's
cool.
this unfortunately happens.
We open to questions.
And there's one operation named Asfi Makul. Is that in 2014 or 12?
Oh, in Arabic. I don't know. Maybe the 12, the 2012.
The one with the drones, Hamas have their own drones and rockets.
I can't remember which one to
Okay.
be honest with you. It could be 12,
Alright.
2012.
Yeah.
Lasted 5 days. You don't know.
Yeah, 5 days, yeah.
Could be. The regarding Hamas, lots of people would say, like, I was talking on Thursday, Kenny,
Mhm.
to socialists, and they were. I got that question saying Hamas do attack Israel through rockets.
Yeah.
I believe personally it's Palestinians have the right to exist, and they have the right to resist. Exist is to resist. Resist is to exist. And what's wrong with Palestinians? I'm not with Hamas throwing rockets or whatever, but it's the right that what the Palestinians decide and see it's right for them to resist. They have to do it. It's the rights. And under international law, by the way, under international law, the occupied people they have the right to resist in their whatever way they like it. See it.
More questions? No? I have questions.
Yeah.
So, about Hamas and Fatah. Maybe political questions. But some say like Fatah is like a puppet under the Zionists. What do you think about that? Because Fatah is a political organization, but it is a more nationalist, while Hamas is more Islamist organization.
Yeah. But not all Fatah are puppets. The original Fatah is the PLO, so
Yeah.
represents all Palestinians. Unfortunately, the Palestinian Authority now is like in the security. Like for example, but he mentioned in the film that the Palestinian Authority at the moment they help Israel in a way like by the security in the West Bank. They could I don't know how to say it, but they do for the security reasons within the West Bank. They kind of cover up for.
Is that a good thing or bad thing?
Bad thing.
Okay.
Of course, it's a bad thing.
Why does that occur? Are they under pressure from the
Of
Israel?
course, yeah, of course.
Pressure.
Under the occupation.
You say the Palestinian organizations, you mean the PLO?
No, I'm
No.
talking Palestinian Authority, which
Okay.
is Abbas at the moment. Yeah, which is Fatah, but not the original Fatah.
Alright.
You know?
What do you mean, like Fatah, but not the original Fatah?
They're different. Fatah nowadays is different than the Fatah used to be. There are different, a little bit different mentality or different. I don't know how to explain to you honest with you, but not that like the original ones.
So, so does it mean that the previous one is the one that started rather than the new one? Like, you got a question?
It's too political and
Yeah.
about Fatah and Hamas and
It's hard to say. It's hard to say.
yeah.
Okay. It's a safe answer.
I'm not a politician, yeah.
Okay, another question I have is about so Palestine right now is basically comprised of West Bank, Gaza, and Jerusalem,
East Jerusalem.
East Jerusalem. Correct. So West Bank they have like the illegal settlement, and
Yeah.
Gaza is completely comprised of the
Under
Palestinians, right? Yes,
It's under they can't control by Israel.
controlled by Israel.
Yeah,
That's true.
because they can't control air, sea, and
But most occupations or attacks occurs in Gaza. Is that correct?
That's right.
Sorry, say that
Like
again.
like if there's an attacks, like
Attacks, yes, yes.
do they occurs mostly in Gaza or West Bank? Because West Bank
No, no.
they have
it's
an
different.
illegal settlements.
Yeah, in the West Bank, it's everyday attack.
Okay,
Okay.
because they live with them.
Yes,
Okay.
they arrest them, they kill them, they go through the checkpoints, no freedom, no movement, no they are trapped as well. I asked that question again because Gaza is under siege. I said, but West Bank is under siege as well. You know, you can see it, but because everybody knows that Gaza is under siege. Okay, but the West Bank as well, they are under siege. They can't. Like if a person, if I'm in Hebron, I can't go to Jerusalem without permission. I can go as an Irish citizen, okay, but not as a Palestinian. You have limits. You are limited. So the limits of movement, you can't go to Haifa, for example, in the north Palestine, because it's really, you're not allowed to come near that area. So you are limited. So they are trapped in the West Bank. They are with the wall as well. They are trapped. No freedom of movement at all. In Gaza, they are trapped again in a huge prison, but they don't see the Israelis. They are under because control of the Israelis, so they don't have that better life of the kind of better life than the people in West Bank. They're all bad.
Both are in a bad situation. So.
It's
Because once I thought that because the West Bank they are living together with the Israelis, maybe they are given some lower down the intensity of the attacks, you know.
oh no,
Because
yeah.
they're living
In
together.
Gaza, yes. I just remember now what you said. Yeah, the Gaza they attack Gaza because they're not in the ground. The Israelis are not in the ground. So between now and then, they provoke Gaza and start a war for some reason. Like 2008, they were trying the new weapons.
That's
So
still in Gaza.
And so they tried them on Gaza, on the people of Gaza. By the way, regarding weapons, we have a petition at the moment, which we're gonna finish it soon, inshallah. As IPSC, we are collecting signatures asking the Irish government to end arms trade with Israel. Unfortunately, they do in Ireland. Not weapons as weapons, but the helmets, drones, things for the machineries. So we're asking the Irish government to boycott and stop the arms trade with Israel. We have 16,000 signatures so far. Our aim now is 20,000 signatures, and we're going to hand it soon, inshallah. So we are collecting the signatures. If you would like to sign it for us, please do. So we pushed the Irish government to do it, and then from Irish government to go to the parliament as well. I went to the European Parliament. I got the chance. I sneaked in actually with friends, with the people from Lagi. They were visiting Belgium, and they're in their tour. They're visiting the European Parliament. So I asked them if I could come and join. I didn't. I said I'm not going to speak. Just let me in. Okay? So I booked my ticket and I went. I met them there, and we went in the European Parliament. We met a few parliamentarians there, and I spoke, of course. I said how the European Parliament are complicit and how hypocrite they are by giving Israel lots of privileges within as a European country, and not punishing them for or sanctioning them for the war crimes they do. So that's what we do with these petitions and these targeting the Irish government. We push the Irish government to embarrass them, and in their part they go and push the European Parliament as well on that as they're part of the European countries, Europe. Hopefully they'll do something.
Inshallah. So we come to
Keep
the
the
end,
pressure.
inshallah. We're 45. You want to have your dinner?
Yeah, I do. I have to thank you very much for hosting me. I hope that was good.
Yeah.
Regarding the film, you can. I'm not sure if it's mine. I think free. I'm not sure, but we do sell them in IPSC. We do have some materials. We do sell like the film, the kufias, which from the last Hebron factory, the last factory in Hebron doing the kufias in Palestine, which in the whole of Palestine. This is the only factory left and they're surviving. So we buy the kufiyas from them to support them, and we do sell them here to get our support as well. So thank you very much for having me, and I hope that was good. And please help, and please come and join us on the Saturday the 4th. If anybody's willing to help, please,
Call me.
please call me, let me know. Please. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Barakallah. Thank you very much, Amir.
Thank you for coming and willing to give
Thank you
us.
very much. Thank you. Very good.
And inshallah, before we end, we get some souvenirs for you.
Oh,
Let's give you some gifts.
thank you very much. Really? Oh. Thank you.
So this is like a Malaysian gift, you know?
Thank you very much. Can you take a picture with mine or with his?
Can we come in? I can come in.
No, you stay in the picture.
I'm waiting for that.
You mean please. Thank you. Can we have a group picture?
Yeah.
No problem. Yes.
Thank you very much.
So we have a grand closing tomorrow if you're free to join us. So basically this is the Ummah Week this week. So we invited in conjunction of the Ummah Week. So we're having a grand closing tomorrow in the city as well. It's 9 to 3, but then there's a talk at 11 to 1. If you would like to, ask questions, yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Alright.
You can bring your,
I want a group picture.
yeah. You can bring your children as well because it's going to be Malaysian.
My
Which year?
Jordan.
Yeah. A few of us went to Jordan last year.
Oh,
And we went to the refugee camp.
what's the refugee?
We went the one in Irbil.
Oh, the one.
Yeah. So and then there was this Palestinian.
Did
woman.
they allow you to go?
Yeah, we went in.
inside?
We went in and we went to visit the homes as well. And we went to visit the project that they started, which is the Zamaluhi project, where they give books to Palestinians to make.
For me to go visit these camps, I need permission.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
So considering in Jordan.
We want control with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Control. They don't allow people to go in. I'm a photographer as well, so when they see my camp, I'm not allowed. To go in.
Oh, yeah.
Take a group picture. We want you in the picture.
Selfie.
Okay, so yeah. Squeeze in, squeeze in.
Hold the pen.
Thank you. Jazakallah khair.
That we could take to ask for the certification.
What is that thing? Yeah.
No, I have enough. Wait.
Please.
If you have, then you can
Photocopy. We can. Here, you can do this and photocopy if you need more. You will drop them.
Just give the paper.
Just give us one paper and we'll send.
Great.
You can get okay.
Oh, and we did, yeah. So please, whatever you see these. They. We did.
Sorry, is Coca-Cola in your list? That's all they like to do.
I don't personally why it's bad for you. I don't drink it. But we don't ask.
We focus mainly on
No.
what is that on Coca-Cola. You
Yeah. You want to do the exercise?
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
One more.
Yeah, sure, I can take it.
Then take one with me. Victory. Victory.
One, two.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you. Okay.
One, two. All right.
Thank you. Yeah. I feel famous.
Like an artist.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. All right.
Thank you.